This is a Chevrolet E3500. Used to be church bus that has been somewhat converted to an RV. I'm just going to kind of go through as quick as I can things that we've done to it. As you can see, it's been painted. We used Rust-Oleum, what's called Rhino liner, in a can. It's done really well. It holds up to bugs and everything else really well. Covered everything up real well. The Jedi Life thing there at the top, it's just a decal that we stuck on there. Star Wars fans, it comes off really easily though. Just a little more on the outside. Back here in the back, it did have a wheelchair lift in it that was taken out. It's a couch / day bed, and I'll show a little bit more of when I go inside. It's up on, as you can see, subflooring and cinder blocks, which leaves down under here some extra storage space. I'm going to go ahead and show the back real quick. Again, as I said, Star Wars fans, so there's a big old stormtrooper there on the back. That is painted on, but you can buy a can of the Rust-Oleum Rhino lining thing for like $7 or $8 and have that painted over really easily. And then little decal that's on there that could easily be taken off. And go ahead and step inside so you can get a better view of what we have done. The front here is basically the same. We've not done much of anything to it other than that, just a little floor mat here. We did cover up what was just some ugly vinyl there in the front. There's nothing but wires behind that. It looked ugly, so we covered it up. Another little vinyl decal there that easily comes off. The front seat we have not covered. There is a seat cover there that if you wanted to cover it, it could be. We have put a seat cover over these two. What we did was we took literally every other seat out of here. It only leaves enough seating for 2 passengers plus the driver. We do still have another set of the seats that could be put back in. It would take a little bit of work, but not a lot. The floor is just vinyl peel and stick on top of subflooring. Underneath the subflooring is a layer of insulation that would go under just a laminate flooring. It works as a bit of a temperature barrier as well as a good moisture barrier. You can see here in the floor, this is a spot where you could easily pull the peel and stick off and then the subflooring off, and that's where the extra set of seats could bolt back into the bus. What we did was, this is actually an entertainment center, a little box fan to help keep things cool. This is just a sink, washing hands, take a sink shower in. It's actually a bug sprayer that we use to fill up. It gives us some water with some pressure. The sink here is plumbed. It just empties into this jug that can then be easily taken out and emptied itself. 1500 watt power inverter hooked up to a deep cycle battery. The bus has a high amp, I believe it's an 80 amp high amp alternator. So it does a really good job of keeping that deep cycle charged. Charges it really quick. A little 700 watt microwave, and then just more storage on this side over here. It's a 2.3 cubic foot refrigerator. Runs off the power inverter. You can run both the microwave and the fridge at the same time. The fridge draws next to nothing, and you could leave it plugged in with the bus off almost infinitely, almost forever, without it actually draining the battery any. You see we added some curtains. These do roll up, and then you use the little bread ties there to keep them up when you're traveling. All except for the first windows do open up. Lots of storage up here. We just left this alone. We took this about 2 months ago on a trip. We went all the way to the Grand Canyon, through southern Utah, Colorado, through the Rockies. Had absolutely zero problems with it, and took all of our own food. We did not eat out once, plus all our clothes, plus several dogs and all of their stuff, and it all fit in here really easily. This little iron piping we used for hanging up our clothes, more shelves just for storage. You can see the little containers there using industrial strength Velcro. They stick to the walls there along with a mirror. There's a little lamp right there that actually hooks onto a spot outside so you have an exterior light. The generator that stays with the bus. It is not plumbed in any way, so we do have this toilet. It's just a little chair, cut a hole, trash bag and trash can there. Use the bathroom, pull the trash bag out, throw it away. You're good to go. Rear heat, rear AC. I will say the rear AC only works if you're driving down the road. If you're just sitting, it won't blow cold air. This was the emergency hatch. As you can see, we turned it into a skylight, and then running around it, there's some LED lights that are solar powered, so you're not drawing anything and have some lighting at night. There is a battery charger that you can plug in, hook up to the deep cycle. That way, if you're staying somewhere for a while and you've got a power source, you don't have to keep cranking the bus to charge up your battery. We talked about adding a water tank just for a water supply. Never did do it, but there is a water pump there that will come with it. So if you do decide you wanted to add water, you can. So you can see this is, well, I think it's called a day bed. Works as a couch, and then this slides out. You've got to move the toilet out of the way, but it slides out for a second twin size bed. Both are actually really comfortable. And then underneath here, this just slides in and out. There's more storage, and then as you can see, the spare tire is right there. And then next to it, there's some more storage there underneath that as well. And then just looking back up to the front, like I said, we took it probably 2,500 miles and had absolutely no problems out of it. A few little things just to mention, I'll show up here. The temperature gauge is now down here. When we bought it, the previous owners had said that it didn't work. We took it to well, we actually bought it from a bus dealer who took the old temperature gauge out and put the new one in, so it does work. It takes it a second to get started up, but it's never not started. With the temperature gauge, as you can see, the original one sits like that, and then it'll go straight to 260. That causes the service engine soon light to stay on. That's something they could never get fixed. And then also the check gauges light will come on just because that temperature gauge is still wired in. Nothing wrong with the bus. It doesn't run hot. As a matter of fact, it generally will stay under 200 and runs really well. There's an aftermarket CD player. It still works. The CD or the speakers work really well. The heat and AC up front work. The only issue with that is neither of them will blow out the vents. When they redid the temperature gauge and had to disconnect everything, I think they disconnected a hose that would blow out the vent. So heat and AC only comes out from up here and down at the floor. Still works fine, still cools and heats really well. And as I said, the rear AC works great when you're driving and does a good job to cool. The rear heat, well, it works really well. It'll burn you out. And I think that's pretty much it. Everything that you've seen in this video is included and will come with the bus.